Hi everybody, Lori here from My Favorite Things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a couple of fun television themed projects to share with you using some fun new products that just came out in the latest February release. I'm going to show you some of these new products. First up is the Genoblade Big Screen Scenes Stamp Set. Some adorable Genoblade critters acting out little individual scenes from classic well-known movies with sentiments to go with. We have the classic TV Dynamics, allows you to build a fun retro camera. And this is the Screen Scene Dynamics. It's just a simple little rectangle, got a little bit of a faux stitching edge on it, but it's sized perfectly to cut out those little movie scenes. But I couldn't wait to try and make a little retro television. So there's lots of fun different things you can do. When I first saw it, I thought it might be interactive. It's not. It's just a fun little, I guess maybe if you were really, really creative, you might be able to do something interactive with it. But I'm starting out with the like an old style wooden retro television. So the first die cuts out the base of the television. And then you have all the little accessories like the speaker, the legs, the knobs, and then there's also an antenna that you can do. So I just used two different shades of kind of brown and caramel solid color cardstock. And then there's these little ziggy zaggies that go in the screen. You know when back in the old days, I don't even know if TVs do it nowadays, but when there's nothing left on the broadcast, they put that up and it's stripy. It's not rainbow order, I'll tell you that. That's one thing I do know. But so I'm just using some little slivers of solid color cardstock. And I actually Googled this because I'm psychotic. I want to know what is the order of the color of the stripes that actually go on the TV. Well, it was controversial. So I just cut some out. And then now here's just a scrap piece of white cardstock. This was just giving me something to adhere everything to. That way, when it's all said and done, I could pop up my television on my card base, whatever I choose to do. So I just covered that scrap paper with tape runner, and then I'm using a little bit of Barely Art glue to glue down the little TV frame, and then pop in all those little ziggy zaggies. Kind of got to remember what order you die cut them in because they do fit together, kind of like a little puzzle piece. Since I covered that scrap paper with tape runner, it's already sticky, ready to go. You just pop in your pieces and they're glued down. And now for the little accessories, the speaker, the knobs, the antenna, and the legs, just popping those on using my embellishment wand and that Barely Art glue. You could definitely customize this if you wanted to do these little pieces out of some like matte silver to make them look metallic. A lot of different looks you can get. Here I just went with two different shades of brown, because I thought the brown was a nice warm contrast to those bright stripes. Gluing on the legs here. You know what this is starting to give me? Mork and Mindy vibes. Did anybody remember that show, Mork and Mindy? I don't know why this TV is giving me Mork and Mindy vibes, but it is. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to make two TVs today. One with the ziggy zaggies and one with a fun scene in the middle. Okay, so for this television, I'm going to go dark gray. And then for all the little doodads, I'm just going to do black. Keeping it very simple, letting the scene inside the television kind of be the star of the show. So you have your little black frame for the television. It's a nice little neutral contrast on that dark gray television. So again, gluing this all on with Barely Art glue. And as I look at this back while I'm doing the voiceover, I keep thinking if you were smart enough to figure out some sort of slider mechanism, you could slide the scene on the TV, like make it look like you're changing channels. I'm not sure, but I had the idea. I just wasn't smart enough to figure it out. Maybe one of you guys will figure that out with your engineering brains. Okay, gluing on the antenna on the top, and then we're going to get to the scene inside using the Genoblade Big Screen Scenes Stamp Set. Okay, so let's walk you through the scenes in the movie. See how they fit perfectly in that rectangle size of the television. So you have your choosing. As far as the movies, we have down on the bottom right, Indiana Jones, Lady and the Tramp. This one here's The Shining. I have to admit, I've never seen that. Titanic, Forrest Gump, and The Sound of Music. And then there's all these sentiments that you compare with that are like famous quotes from those movies. So if you're a movie buff or you know a movie buff, or maybe one of these is a movie that you're very familiar with, I went with Lady and the Tramp because pasta. It really is what drew my eye. Also, the critters are kind of darn cute. I Googled Lady and the Tramp just to get a feel of what the colors were like, because I didn't remember exactly. I thought it was two dogs, but this is a dog and a cat, I think. I'm not complaining. I think it's really, really cute. As far as coloring here, you can see my marker caps, keeping it very, very simple. If you want to see some incredible coloring of these movie scenes, I saw on Alberto Gava's Instagram, he colored all 6 of these like Copic sorcerer. He is so incredibly talented with Copic markers, and he really set the scene. Very dramatic, like moody. I can't. You know what? I don't think I've ever even tried to do a really dark, dramatic, moody Copic coloring scene. I don't know why, but I always keep it light, kind of light and goofy. Not sure. Maybe it's my personality. Okay, making this a fun little tabby cat with the little tiger stripes. And you can see my marker caps there if you want to know exactly what colors that I used. But again, keeping it pretty light. So for the bowl of pasta, my favorite, I could eat pasta probably 3 times a week if I'm being honest. I don't know if it's because I'm Italian or I just love carbs. Either way. And I do believe there is one lonely meatball sitting on that plate. Okay, giving him a rosy cheek because, I mean, how can you not? A rosy cheek. And then I just decided since I had that R01 out, I would go ahead and make kind of a rosy tablecloth. Now, when you look up the imagery from the movie, I believe it's like a red and white, kind of a checkered tablecloth. Again, not really my strong suit, doing patterns on tablecloths with Copic, so I just kept it solid. Hey, do what feels right to you, but you could definitely customize the color. Here's the little meatball. Now, that would be probably the first thing I would eat. Here's the screen scene dynamics. It's just a lonely little rectangle. It does kind of have a bit of a faux stitching edge on it, and it's perfectly sized for those rectangles. So you could use the rectangles by themselves, just not with the TV at all. But if you want to, it also fits perfectly behind the television. Now, afterthought, I decided to color the background. It was pretty stark white. I knew Lady and the Tramp was kind of a night scene. I didn't go as dark as night. In fact, I think mine's giving more of a candlelight dinner by the pool vibe with that aqua color. Hey, just go with it. So I'm gluing on my scene to the back of the TV. And there you have 2 cute little TV options, one with the ziggy zaggies and one with a movie scene from Lady and the Tramp. Now we're going to turn these into simple little cards, nothing crazy, a little bit of ink blending for the background. So I wanted to create a bit of faux grounding. So I kind of got the lay of the land where I wanted the TV to rest in the center of the card, and I'm using Post-it tape, just masked off the bottom portion, and I'm using some brown ink. I believe this is Latte ink by Simon Says Stamp, but you could use any brown ink that you have. Just doing a light blend, not covering the entire thing, just more in the center, fading it out. And then for the upper half, I did more aqua, kind of tying it in with that background in the TV. And now I was going to leave it, but I decided every great once in a while, I like to flick it up. So there's 2 things I do every great once in a while. I strip it up and I flick it up. So I use the same brown ink color that I blended. I just smushed it on an acrylic block and flicked it with a wet brush. I just used water and did a few flicks, not too much, little dab will do. And then I'm going to do the same with the top half. Going to flick on some aqua. So I smushed on a little darker shade, I believe, and flicked on some flicks. It just gives it kind of a dreamy mood, if you will. Now for the sentiment, this is a one that paired with the Lady and the Tramp from the Jenna Blade big screen scenes. I stamped it below. A little bit of foam tape on the back of the television and pop it up right in the middle. It's a very, very clean and simple card, but it's adorable if you know someone who loves Lady and the Tramp. Now for the second TV, I did the same thing on the base with that brown kind of grounding and also the brown flicking. But for the top, I decided to blend in some pink. So I blended a little bit and then I flicked a little bit. I believe the pink colors I use are carnation and peony, if you want to know, but I think any pink inks will work for this. So you got your Ziggy Zaggy TV. I stamped an old sentiment, being together makes everything better. You could probably find a lot of fun sentiments that you could pair out of your stash with the TV. It makes a great kind of thinking of you, love you, Valentine's anniversary card. And that is the Classic TV Dynamics. Make sure and check out the My Favorite Things blog for more inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.